First race back, Harry, and second. That's sensational.
Cheers, Larry. Yeah, it was on from the start and was a good race. I wasn't obviously when everyone's different championships is in one race. I've never done a race like this when it's been different regions. It was always normally just the northeast before, but now obviously it's combined. And I was just trying to think when we were actually riding who was from Rich. I thought Alex was northeast, but I think he's northwest actually. So
yeah, I'm not sure who's who on that.
Yeah.
On the medal side.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd forgotten that it was a regional championships until about 2 or 3 laps in. We were just in the group of 4, just riding. I was like, well, this is going to
Well,
be
I just
quite a
know
long.
that those riders that you were with in the break, they've all, there was a breakaway last week with them all in.
What race was that?
That was, what was that?
George A. Bennett.
Whittam Wheelers.
Oh.
And they were in a 3-up break.
Yeah.
You've joined it, made it a 4-up break today. How did you manage to train to be able to ride with these guys who I know are powerhouses?
I mean, I'm
Not a top end work.
no, I'm quite the opposite to be honest. I was swinging. I had one bullet, I guess, to I can do a 20-30 second effort really well actually. My sprint's pretty good, but I've just got no aerobic threshold. My VO2 is quite low, and I can punch across a gap all right, but when I get there, I'm on my knees, and that was the situation really. I was being as honest as I could, and luckily.
Well, things were against you with the puncher as well.
Yeah, I was riding. I was giving what I could, but to be quite honest, the last 2 laps I was cramping quite a bit. Just the hardest thing I've done really is like a 1 hour chain gang. So actually to go all out for 3 hours in a race like that, it was something a bit different. But yeah, tyre was on the rim when I finished. About 500 metres after the finish line. Luckily I had a pump and I stopped on the way back onto HQ just to gas it up, and then it was back on the rim again by the time I got back. So so the last 3 or 4 Ks it was a little bit spongy, but I didn't particularly know actually until really the last K. But by that time I was all just committed to the finish line, so I couldn't tell, to be honest, if it was tyres or the legs or both. So,
Well, you're a very popular rider, Harry. So let's find out what your plans are for this season, because we're halfway through the year. You've just come back for your first race.
Yeah, true. To be honest, I felt this month it almost feels a bit of a. Doesn't feel like it's been going great. I came back. I'd done 2 solid months of training after glandular fever, and then this month's just been a bit, not as good as I'd hoped, kind of thing. So I had this race entered like from 2 weeks ago, and I was a bit unsure about it. And to be honest, I know that my level's nowhere near where it needs to be, and it's a flat race. You can skulk around a bit, but yeah.
You enjoyed it today?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I was suffering a lot. It's also different to be on the other end, on the receiving end, I think, as well. I was by far the weakest in the break, and it was just a case of hanging on for the end and trying to give what I could, but not put myself in the red. But yeah, I'm going out to Holland next week because there's not many races on here anyway, so just going to go out to Holland and go and do a few crits and maybe pro commerce as well. Yeah. And then it's nationals.
Well, they say form's temporary, class is permanent, and we know that you've got the great talent in all the achievements that you've had in the sport.
Thanks, Larry.
So
hopefully get stuck into the elite crits after nationals, and we have a few UCI races in August and September. So UK is a bit quiet really in July. I think there's one prem, maybe Lancaster, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that back out in Europe in August and September, and hoping I can get some results and race out the back half of the year strongly, a bit like in 2021 really, when I had some problems in the middle part of the year. So yeah, just hope for the best.
Well, every athlete goes through this. I know a lot of GB guys who went through this. Things wrong with them, they couldn't work out what.
Oh.
But as long as you're hungry for it, as long as you enjoy getting that success.
Yeah, exactly. I know where I want to be, and I'm training hard to get back to that level. Obviously, it's just I think with the races it'll help to push yourself on a little bit, and as long as I can recover okay, which I'm hoping, fingers crossed, blood's look okay now, and I still get lingering kind of tiredness, which comes and goes, but it's getting better still, and it's just one of those things. It'll sort itself out with time. I just have to be patient with it and do what I can.
Well, I've always thought, as a final word, that being as old as I am, if I had your talent, I'd want to make the most of it for as long as I can before I get old like I am now.
Well, I mean, I'm not that talented.
I hope you do continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy the training and I enjoy the racing. It's different when you're coming at it from this angle and just I'm turning up to a bike race just to get around, not to win it, which is completely different to what I'm used to, especially abroad or here, even at Bees and stuff. Hopefully it'll...
Good to see you on the podium.